What you're about to experience are my opinions and truths. I'm suggesting they're possibilities for you to consider, in which you can then come up with your own logical conclusions. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow decoders around the world, wherever you may be, both male and female, always love to have you here. Welcome out to another episode of Decode Your Reality. My name is Logan. I'm going to be your tour guide for this presentation, which, really deserves the best intro. The greatest show on earth, Decoded. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. What is the greatest show on earth? It's your life. It's not my life. It's your life. If cameras were following you around right now, that's the greatest show on earth. Some of you probably wouldn't be happy about that. A lot of you would be changing what you'd be doing on a day-to-day basis. But your movie is the greatest show on earth, along with everybody else's. And where I really got started with this was someone, and I don't remember who you are, but somebody recommended that I take a look at this. It was just a few decodes ago. A big shout out to you. I can't remember. If you leave your comment in there, I'll give you a heart, a thumbs up, and give you credit for that. I just get so much stuff coming my way. I don't remember who it was, but someone had said, hey, check out The Cabin in the Woods. And I had thought I had watched this movie, and I didn't. So I was reading the plot, and I was like, huh. And of course I was kind of the voice in my head, watch it. Okay. So I did. And the big takeaway right away, bam, there's pi, a permutation of that 413, which is a big number because it's tied to archons, the 7 rulers, the classic 7 planets is the 143. I've already covered that. I'm going to talk about that. But this is what promulgated me to talk about the greatest show on earth. So let's start with this. And if you've seen this movie, wow, what a hell of a ride. With Chris Hemsworth, et cetera, et cetera. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you once again, that we are living in a scripted reality that is predestined. You're not in control of it. Okay? That's just my final answer at this point. I'm going to support that through this decode. This one right here, ladies and gentlemen, probably one of the most important decodes I've done just because of what I'm about to show you. And it's a very, I don't have a lot of people that are going to probably tune into this, but if you're here, you're supposed to be here. So that's great. Let's get started with this. So if you haven't seen this movie, I'm going to suggest you go watch it. If you haven't seen it and you don't want to have spoiler alerts, I'm not going to give you too much, but I'm going to put the timestamps of just 2 categories, The Cabin in the Woods and then the greatest show on earth. So you can just fast forward if you don't want to watch this part, but this part's going to be really, really important. Okay. So it's in the very beginning, and you know how I roll. I like to look at the timestamps. I've broken timestamps down, line items of songs. So many times I've done this with The Truman Show, Wedding Crashers. This is no different. The timestamp. And this guy right here, and of course, his fate would have it, his name in the movie is Alex Truman, and he's the one questioning what's going on. And you're looking at the control room, meaning this is the control room of Earth. The gods that are controlling Earth, however that looks. This is how this whole thing's formatted. And this guy is questioning things. And so this is the very exact moment at 23 minutes and 33 seconds into the movie when he finishes saying, but then it's fixed, meaning that the show on Earth is fixed. 23 minutes and 33 seconds. 23 is tied to blood, crown, and history. The word Archon equals 23. And you know what that mighty 33 is equaling and coming up to. But 23 and 33, get out your calculators. What does that equal? 56. And there you have the movie. So what's fixed? The movie, which is Earth, which is the greatest show. It's your life. It's fixed though, folks. But you got to have fun with this. You got to make lemonade out of it, as I often say. But wait, there's more, of course. So here are the two main guys that are the controllers of the movie, Earth. And this is for the United States now. There's other countries, Japan, and they were saying it was all over the world. But these are the two guys that were in charge of the control room to control the reality. And at this very moment, 24 minutes and 21 seconds into the movie, this guy right here, Richard, his name, his real birth name, he says, let's get this party started, which, like they're doing betting on what the outcome's going to be. They did throw in, there's some free will in there, but there was a ton of things that were scripted. So there's that. But this is what he said. Let's get this party started. And it's at 24 minutes and 21 seconds. 24 and 21 equal the number 45. 45 is tied to the number 197. And 197 is one of the isotopes of the element gold. And of course, let's get this party started equals 79. See what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? I mean, I want you to logically think about this now. Now, you're creating a movie. You're writing the screenplay. You're having all these actors and actresses say their lines, all the music, all the editing that would have to go into this to get it exactly at 24 minutes and 21 seconds. Do you think they're really consciously sitting down and coding movies like this to make sure that, okay, well, this is going to equal 45 with the minutes and seconds, and 45, and you know what 45 is, right? Pandora's box. Let's get this party started. Pandora's box. That's what it means. There's so much more to this. I'm just showing you the surface stuff that's easy to see. But it's 79. It's gold. What is gold? Pandora's box. What is gold? The greatest show on earth, which is your life. It's an energy harvesting reality that we live in, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not even going to say ugly truth. That's just the truth of it. And I'm not the first one to talk about this. Greeks talked about it. There's ambrosia, food for the gods, etc., etc. So there's more than just this right here. How about these two guys in their birth cards? So Richard Jenkins and Bradley Whitford were the two controllers running the movie. Meaning you could say in the context, these are the Elohim. Right? Let us make man in our image. You could talk about the angels and demons that run this reality. However you want to look at it. You could say it's a quantum computer, however you want to look at it. And of course, as fate would have it, Richard has on May 4th, he's got the 41st card in the deck. This is tied to Elohim. Elohim equals 41. You get the 2 of spades. And then Bradley has the October 10th, which is card 25, the Queen of Clubs. Black Sun equals 25. It's tied to Earth. And when you take 25 and 41, you add it up. Ding, ding, ding. You get 66. Dysprosium. Wait till you see what I show you on this. What is the number 66? Well, it's one short of 666, and it's one more than 6, and 6 is the perfect number in mathematics. 6 is the last day of creation in theology. 6 is the first number after the decimal of the golden ratio, 1.6. It has a lot of say in this reality. It has a lot of say in this, and this is what it leads to right here. So remember this right here. These two guys, they're birth cards. They equal the number 66. Even their birthdays, 4 and 10 is 14, and 43 is the 14th prime number, and then you all the way back to the 191. That's going to be tied to Osmium, the Wizard of Oz. I mean, it just goes on and on when you know how to look at these numbers through the source code, golden ratio, cards of illumination, mathematics, the calendar, I mean, there's just so many layers to look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep going here. So this was another big marker for this movie. And this is where I had gotten the inspiration to do Greatest Show on Earth, because during this scene right here at 51 minutes and 19 seconds to the movie, Richard says, "Greatest show on earth." So there's like this shaking of the earth going on, and everybody's kind of holding on tight. I'm not going to spoil the whole movie if you haven't seen it. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. But he says, "Greatest show on earth." And this is what inspired me to do this decode right here, right? So, of course, what is 51? Antimony, which is tied to what? The all-seeing eye, which is tied to the implant in your brain. 19 is tied to the sun. 19 is tied to the word apex. So if you add up 51 and 19, you're going to get the number 70. Bring that into the string of the golden ratio, including the 1 point. It sits at decimal digit. It's at the 65th and 66th decimal digit, which is, what is 66, ladies and gentlemen? Well, it's interesting because the birth of Christ in Bethlehem, the latitude, longitude, oh yeah, just you bring this into it. Now, those of you that are new, you're like, wow, Logan's really stretching stuff. Well, if you go watch my hundreds of videos showing you I'm not stretching anything. Everything's connected in this reality. This is the source code. This is the map. This is the code of what's writing our reality. 31 and 35, 66. Okay? No accidents here. So this 66 keeps showing up. It's showing up right here where exactly he says, what's the greatest show on earth? The Christ. You are Jesus. You're having the Jesus Christ superstar experience. You're carrying your cross, which is your screenplay, folks. That's what this whole reality is based upon. We're in a game. It's the light game. Jesus said, I'm the light of the world. Lucifer is the light bringer. Same context. There's it right here. Greatest show on earth. 51 plus 19 is 70. 70 is tied to the crown. The seventh pentagonal number is the number 70. You add them all up, it's 196. I showed this already. 5 is man, spirit into matter. It's all tied to the Christ and playing the light game right here. This is so ridiculously scripted, folks. They're not sitting down and editing movies to get it exactly at these timestamps. No way. This is something far beyond the scope of man, folks. Far beyond it. So this character, it's not what you think it is. It's just not what you think it is, ladies and gentlemen. Now, how about if you add up the two digits where the 70 occupies, digit 65 and 66, you're going to get 131, which is going to be tied to Xenon. Xenon, coming from the word Xenos in Greek, covered this many times. 54, if you watch They Live, the news station 54, they're broadcasting the hypnotic trance. Obey, consume. It was news station 54. And there's someone in my head. This is Pink Floyd, Brain Damage. Roger Waters, Dark Side of the Moon, 1973. You're on television equals 73. 1973, Dark Side of the Moon comes out. There's someone in my head, but it's not me. 131. Right there. 131 is the 32nd prime number. O.J. Simpson won the number 32 from high school all the way to professional. You think his mind was his own? No way. You're in a movie, folks. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Here's a xenon bulb. I've shown this. Check out my Kabbalah Decoded. I've shown this many times. This is a actual xenon bulb for movie theaters. This is what, in my opinion, this is Earth right here. We live inside of the snow globe. We live inside of an egg. As above, so below. The eggs you crack, the Earth is an egg. This is what a xenon bulb. You're in a movie. You're in a self-contained system. That's what this means. And your life is not, you're not the owner of it. You're just renting space here. Anyway, the big takeaway for this is the actual movie title, The Cabin in the Woods. There it is, 73. You're on television is 73. Dark Side of the Moon came out in 1973, where this came from. Roger Waters, 1973, Brain Damage. So it's so simple. 73 means you're on television. You're in the movie. 73 in the string of the golden ratio occupies digit 479, 480, 481, including the 1 point. 479 is not just any number, it's the 92nd prime number, which ties to these two elements right here. It's I am you are me. It's uranium. 92 protons. And then you go to this element right here, niobium, It's got the 92 for its isotope. This is why the 41 is tied to the word Elohim. 41 is tied to the word Moscovian, whereas UFOs are tied to that in Area 51. That's coming out, folks. Trust me, it is coming out. David in Greek is 41. Jesus says, I am the root and offspring of David. Folks, it's all going to come out. I promise you. It's coming out, man, that you're in a movie. All right, you're on television. And lastly, for this beginning of You're on Television, here are the two guys that wrote the screenplay for The Cabin in the Woods. Andrew Goddard and Joss Whedon. He's done Buffy the Vampire Slayer, a lot of movies that are very dystopian. But as fate would have it, here are their two birth cards. He's got the 7 of Clubs being born on June 23rd. He's got the Queen of Clubs being born on February 26th. And 25 and 20 is 45, and there's that Pandora's box. Pandora's box again, 45. I got more to show you on this right here. But what do you think this whole movie was about? And if you watch the movie at the end, when they descend down in the elevators, there was a whole bunch of boxes, a whole bunch of cubes with everything that was contained in there to make your life miserable. It was a really well thought out, well done movie. So kudos goes out to these guys. Not saying it's absolutely true, folks, but it's pretty interesting, to say the least. And, you know, I showed this in my Sex Decoded, which is one of my top, from analytical standpoints, it was number one for a long time. In so many categories. Well, what do you think's on your mind? Sex. That's why it has such high analytics. This is how this game, let's get this party started. People hump. That's how you got here. That's how I got here. People humping. And even Elvis, Elohim. Hello, it's a no-brainer. He had a song called Jailhouse Rock. Suspicious Minds. We're caught in a trap. Telling you the story. And he has this movie he was in, Blue Hawaii, and the song that he sung was I Can't Help But Falling in Love With You. That's the game of life. The running time, 102 minutes. The isotope of rhodium, 102, 45. And you mean to tell me these guys read a movie about the cabin in the woods being in a predestined scripted reality? Come on, folks. We got to start using logic and discernment. The signs have been coming out and coming out and coming out and coming out. There are no more secrets anymore. You're being told what's going on here. You're in Pandora's box. You're in it. Your life is not your own. So that was the beginning of that, ladies and gentlemen. Bam! I didn't even forget the topics. I'm just going to roll through this. Just want to get this material out, you know? Greatest show on earth, Decoded. That was the beginning, The Cabin in the Woods. If you haven't seen that movie, go check it out. Really interesting movie. And that's what promulgated me to do this decode. So let's get into this, right? And break it down, showing this methodology. Once again, I love using tarot to show the pictures. Now, I want to tell you all of this because there's two ways to observe the tarot. There's two charts. The first chart is going to be the most classical one, using the Fool in the 0 position and card number 22. Or some people just use the Fool as the very first card, which I don't know why you do that, because there's no 1 on the card. There's the 1 on the Magician. But really, the most popular is using Fool in the 0 and the 22nd position twice. But there's also an alternate way to look at this, and that's what I'll be using for this decode. It's just using the Fool in the 0 position, and that is it. Meaning that the Ace of Wands moves into the 22nd position. So everything moves back 1, meaning that there's only 77 cards in the tarot. And why I'm showing you this alternate, and I send these graphics to people that ask me, I send you both charts because that's how these numbers encroach. There's 77 cards, but then there's 78. Which is it? It's both. Numbers are going to incorporate into one another. They're going to bleed into one another, and they're going to encroach, as I say. So because this is such a big deal, the greatest show on earth is 77. I decided to go with the 77 cards of the tarot. And oh my, I may start using this more and more because this was like mind-blowing for me. So, you know, I'm going to take the numbers of the outcome of the numerology, and I'm going to tie it right to the tarot cards. And we're going to do this with the cards of illumination too, and alchemology. Greatest show on earth, 27, 21, 12, 17. Here it is. This is what it looks like, folks. And you couldn't have painted a better picture to narrate what it means to be on earth and in the greatest show So the greatest is 27 tied to the 6 of Wands, and this means victory. So what is the greatest show on earth? It's a victory for what? Whatever is using this reality. That's what this card means, victory. And it's a 6. 666. And then this is a dead giveaway. The greatest show is the World card, of course, the last card of the major arcana. And then on, the Hangman, the greatest show on earth. You're going into the Hangman position on, and then you're now a star in the movie. Earth is 17, Life is 17, Matrix is 17, Gold is 17. They're all 17s just in Chaldean. Don't need to even deviate away from that. This is you being the star of the movie. The greatest show on earth. There it is in the tarot. It's so beautiful if you ask me. Let's keep going. When you do the numerology of these cards, I left some things. You can do the Roman numerals. When you do the numerology, 6 of Wands, the World, the Hangman, the Star, you get 150. And where's that 150 found in the string of the golden ratio? Well, it appears at digit 6. The number 6 occupies the 150th decimal digit. And then just right next to it is another number 6. And there's that 66. How big is that? The 66 here. Right here. 66. Greatest show on earth. The timestamp, 66. These two guys with their birth cards, they're the controllers of the game, the movie. Come on, folks. The greatest show on earth, now moving it into the tarot, then bringing it into numerology, then bringing it into the string of the golden ratio. How can I go this many layers deep and get this strong of an outcome? Because you're living in a predestined reality. There's no way man could ever code this, ever. We got life to take care of. And, so 6 is the big outcome, and there's the fish. 6 is carbon. Greatest show on earth is carbon. That's you and me. 6 is the first perfect number. That's why the last day of creation in Judaism and Christianity is 6. And look at what the number outcome is for 6. 315. Guess how many fish the Christ and the apostles caught when they tossed their nets to the right side of the boat? 153. It's a permutation of that. You're on television tied to Galilean. Check out my 700 Decoded. And it makes you a fish. See? The fish. That's why the ichthys, the symbol for the Christ, is the fish. Because you're on earth and you're the star of the movie. Your life is predestined, though. Your life is predestined. So the other big takeaway besides the full 77, I'm going to get into that, is the word show. It's the greatest show on earth. And that's that 21. And the 21st card in the tarot is the World card. Well, the word 0 equals 21. And there's a great big, you see the big 0 right here on the tarot card? You see that right there? That's the portal to get in here. The 0. Saved by 0. You know that song by The Fix? Saved by 0? There's the 0. You can't miss it. The show is the 0. You enter the portal. And since it's the 21st card in the deck, we match it up with the 21st letter in the English alphabet, 21. There's the 21. See? So the 0 is going to lead to the letter U, and the U is tied to the word universe. What do you think this is? Tied to the word Uranus. Here's the original Greek spelling in English, converted into English. There's an O before the letter U. And there's the O right on the card. So if you remove the O, it becomes U, and then it just goes to the 21, which this is the 21st card. The 0 is the 21 in numerology. The word show is 21. The word enter is 21. The word love is 21. So there's no mistake in this code, folks. And there's man just is along for the ride. You may be able to become conscious of it. That's totally fine. And even in my You're on Television Decoded, I showed the Roman numerals for the World card, the last card in the major arcana, the XXI, is 57. What is 57? The Truman Show. You're on television, folks. I'm going to continue to say that. I know I'm going to sound like a broken record. I need to really drive this home. And so you're being watched. So just know that when you're doing the dirty in the shower, or when you're doing this by yourself or whatever, you're being watched, ladies and gentlemen. The eye in the sky, the maker of fools. So since the 21's so big, the greatest show on earth, the show, since it's tied to the zero, right? Where's the zero found in the string of the golden ratio? We got to go, check this out. This is insane. 21 digits into the golden ratio to locate that zero. So think about what I'm showing you here. You got to go 21 digits to get to the zero. And zero is 21, just like the word show, and the zero is right on the 21st card of the tarot. Is this a coincidence? When you add it all up, you get 110, and the binary number for the number 6 is the 110. The 6, the fish, coming down here to play the game, ladies and gentlemen. You are the Jesus Christ superstar, male or female, does not matter. You're playing out a movie, a role, the greatest show on earth. That's exactly what this means. And we just go to the 6 again, the permutation of the fish, the 153. Again, check out my 700 Club Decode. I showed you how that entire organization, they're all harvesting your energy. If you tune into it and pay attention to it, it's an archetype. There's nothing good or bad about it. They're just harvesting your energy. That's what its job is to do, like a vacuum cleaner. When you vacuum, you suck up dirt. That's the job of the vacuum cleaner. A lot of these archetypes, they're just vacuums, harvesting energy. Sports, religion, they're all harvesters of energy. And there's, you're on television. 6 is the 153 permutation. 315 is a 153 permutation. There it is. 64 possible codons in our DNA, 64 squares on a chessboard. You're on television. Okay? 1110, 110 is the binary for the 6. Pretty easy to see this, folks. So simple to say. 6 is carbon. The element carbon is 6. The 666 elements, 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. There you go. So let's do some alchemology now. Greatest show on earth, 27, 21, 12, 17. Cobalt, scandium, magnesium, chlorine. We're going to take the numerology of the outcome of these words and we're going to convert it to the periodic table. Greatest is 27. That's the 27th element called cobalt. We're going to do that for all 4 letters or all 4 words. And then we're going to do the numerology of those. And what do we get? See, this is how dialed in it is, folks. It's the damn 110. And we just go right back to that 21 digits of the golden ratio, going right back to the 0, going right back to the show. The greatest show on earth. It's the 0, which everything comes from the 0. Everything is a manifestation of the 0. It's the womb. It's the ring of fire. Check out my ring of fire decoded, Johnny Cash. It means you enter the portal. You enter this portal. You enter to play the game, to be a movie star. And there just may be a waiting list to get in here, by the way. But anyway, that's just my... So here's the alchemology, official alchemology for the greatest show on earth. We know it's a 77 with the protons. But if we add up the atomic masses, the isotopes, these are the most abundant. We get the 162. Remember what that 162 was? It's the 66. Bam! So there it is, folks. There are no... It's the 66, the greatest show on earth. And you go right back here. These two guys, the controllers of the greatest show on earth. In this movie context, their birth cards add up to 66. Greatest show on earth when he says it. Ties to the number 66 in the golden ratio based off the timestamp. What do you think the odds would be? You think the producers are actually editing this movie to get it just like this? Come on, folks. Do you know how difficult that would be? I could just go. I've done it so many times now, it's ridiculous. But there it is. I mean, it's hard to get. Well, what is hard to get? Well, you got to use it in the context of what you think. What do you think it means? Figuring this whole thing out. That's what I think it means. Anyway, we've all figured it out now. Here's the original spelling where dysprosium came from. It's a Greek word. It's called dysprotos. Dysprotos is 41. What's the 41 tied to? Remember, it's tied to the 92 because it's tied to niobium. It's tied to uranium. But it's also tied to these two big aspects in our reality. It's tied to this. So you go to Judaism and you're going to get, let us make man in our image. Meaning more than one, which kind of puts the kibbutz on there being just a mono. aspect. It's the L. Elvis, Elohim. Who do you think was using Elvis? 41. David equals 41 in the Greek. Jesus said, I'm the root and offspring of David. I'm the root and offspring of Elohim. And here's the 41st card in the tarot. 41 and 42, but I'm using without the Fool twice. It's the Six of Cups. Folks, do you realize this is the card for Christmas? December 25th. Let me just be really transparent. Here's the boilerplate chart for the cards of the nation. Here's December. Come all the way down to the 25th. Let me zoom in. Here's the 25th right here. We go all the way across. There it is. The Six of Hearts. And the Six of Hearts is the Six of Cups. What do you think this means? What do you think? What does Christmas mean? It's when the sun rises again. It's when the movie, it's like, let's get this party started. Christmas means you being a human being. You playing out the Jesus, and Christmas is tied right to the Christ. You're the Jesus Christ superstar. That's what the greatest show on earth is. It's you. You're having the greatest show on earth along with everybody else. And this is all about you having your memory wiped, coming in here, going back. This card is a card of nostalgia. Not knowing what's going on. See, we're all figuring it out now, which I think we're getting towards the end of the reset. We're probably gonna have our memories wiped again, but I don't know. That's just for fun, right? I'm not saying that's absolute. So don't sit here and quote me on that. This is just theoretical positions here. But it's 6. Carbon 6. Remember what 6 is? It's the fish. Go back here. It's the fish right here. 6. The fish. You're on television, entering the portal to get in here. The greatest show on earth. And you become this. That's what Christmas means. It's December 25th. 25th is the Queen of Clubs. The Queen of Clubs, which is what this guy has for his birth card. One of the controllers. It's all here, folks. It's just, you just got to know what you're looking for. And you have to have all the tools here. The tarot, the cards of illumination, numerology, original languages, alchemy, alchemology. It's all here, folks. And just going back here, again, the greatest show on earth through the tarot. When you say it, it's 150 in the string of the golden ratio. That number 6 is what the 150th digit occupies. It's just all about the 6. Here's the 6 of Cups. 6 of Hearts. It's the 6th card in the deck. Just all right here. Let us make man in our image. The controllers of whatever that, it's the Archons, Elohim, whatever. Archons is 26. Source is 26. Archon is 23. Blood is 23. Clone is 23. This is tied to aliens, folks. It's going to get pretty deep, man. Some of the new content I got coming out. So here's the alchemy for the greatest show on earth. Okay. And then bringing the total 162 into the string of the golden ratio. Where's that found? Digit 237 through 239. 237 is tied to Neptune. Neptune, I feel, runs the screenplay, writes the screenplay. 237 to 239. What's 239? Uranus. But what about that 239? Is it a big deal? Bam! It sure is. It's the 52nd prime number. And what is 52? Tellurium. What does tellurium come from? The word tellus, which means earth. The greatest show on earth. You see how, folks, do you see how beautiful this is? The good, the bad, and the ugly. Life's not always beautiful. There's a lot of horrific. You're in the damn dark age. What do you expect? It's like we're in the age of the world being old and weary, and it's got cancer, and it's got diseases and sicknesses. It's dying. It needs to get born again. It needs to get reborn. It needs to go to the golden age. That's why all this truth is coming out. The justice is coming out. Because the earth, Gaia, is cleaning itself up. It's like you doing a makeover in your own body. You get sick and you go to the doctor, and the doctor says, do this protocol, do that protocol. And you do it and you get better. Well, that's exactly what the golden age to the dark age means for the greatest show on earth. And it never ends, folks, ever. It just goes on and on and on and on. It never ends. It never will. It's eternal. These are no-brainer. Remember, prison planet equals 52. Just saying. Prison planet equals 52. Okay? So we're almost getting to the tail end of this now, and let's get into some more of the breakdown of greatest show on earth and the total. The total is 77. We're going to get into more alchemology. We're just going to go with the total now, and we get this mighty element called iridium. Here's the icon chosen for iridium. It's the dragonfly. So this is where we get the great dragon hurled down. What does it mean? Light. You see, light comes down and it enters this round hole right here, which is the portal. Okay, the world card entering into your body. And then you get into the pineal gland, you can get into the thalamus, which is heaven, and you get into all this stuff in the brain, in your mind. Okay, mind is 14, time is 14. Remember, the 43 is the 14th prime number, showed you how big the 14 was. It's all coming into the black sun right here. This is what the black sun is, really. It's you. And then the 12 zodiac signs are the stargate that wrap around, which is the iris. The iris is the colored part of your eye. The greatest show on earth, ladies and gentlemen, is you observing this reality. And you're giving feedback to whatever's running this reality. It's using you to operate through. You're an instrument for this reality. You're in a reality TV show and you're being watched. That's exactly what this means right here. So let's talk about this iridium, right? How about the number 77 in the string of the golden ratio? Look at how ridiculously scripted this is. 77 occupies digit 37 and 38. That's including the 1 point. 37 is eye in the sky. What do you think you have? An eye, but you're the so below eye. 37 is the eye in the sky. 38, this is what you are. This is what I am. You're going to be an actor or actress. So it's the eye in the sky looking at you. I can read your mind. Tied to Uranus. These are no-brainers here. These are absolutely no-brainers. And 37 to 38 is going to equal the number 75. The words... Actually, I want to do this on the fly. Watch this. Here you go, ladies and gentlemen. History repeats itself. Ever heard that saying before? 75. What do you think 37 and 38 is? 70 freaking 5. So the greatest show on earth, history repeats itself. Okay? That's what this means. And guess what this is tied right to? Lucifer. Lucifer in the original Greek spelling, the Hebrew gematria, is 75. Some of you may not like that. You may unsubscribe. Whatever. You don't like the truth and what this is showing? Whatever. Okay? Greatest show on earth repeats, and then it repeats, and then it repeats. And the game needs players, and I'm telling you, this is how it works. You're being watched. So here's where it gets interesting with this iris. Iris. Iridium comes from the Greek word iris. Okay? And it's a 59. It's going to reduce all the way down to the number 5. 5 is going to be the sun in matter. The 5th house of astrology, Leo. Leo's ruled by the sun. Spirit into matter, folks. 5. 5 fingers, 5 toes. 5 equals 20 in numerology, just like the word duality. Okay? The dragon gets hurled down. It's you. You're the best little devil you can be down here. Be the best little devil you can be. I've been saying this. And look at how ridiculously scripted. Here are the digits in the string of the golden ratio. And here's where the 59 is located at. Right there. And you add up all these digits right here. Not including the 1 point. There's several ways to look at this. Look at what you get. So you mean to tell me Iris in the Greek, where it originally came from, which is the goddess of the rainbow, the colors of the rainbow, tied to Lucifer, the light bringer, tied to Jesus, the light of the world, and it's the 59, and when you add them all up, it's 770. You just drop that 0 right there. It's the greatest show on earth. Light. You're in the light game. You cannot create in a pitch black room. You need light to create, folks. You're in the light game. That's how this works. And this is what you're dealing with right here. You have a contract, it's with God. And you're playing the game of life, and you're being used as an instrument to experience this reality through. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Okay? 59, 59, 59. These are obviously no-brainers. This is tied to Praseodymium, which is tied to Gemini, which is going to be the prison bars. Okay? And here's what it looks like through the tarot. So we go from the greatest show on earth, 77, which is the king of diamonds, card 39, which is tied to Lucifer, and then you go to the 59, and then you get the 10 of swords. which this is like, in order to play the greatest show on earth, when you're in spiritual form, the celestial, however that looks, you got to die a spiritual death to come down here. It's like when you enter the body, when you enter an avatar, when God enters the avatar, or when angels or demons or however this looks, they enter a body, guess what they're faced with? Death. It's inevitable, man. When you're born, you're going to die. 59. Pretty easy to see. And this 10 of Swords converts into and it's got the X right on there. And the 10 of Swords converts to the 10 of Spades, which is card 49. And I did a decode on this. Down on a hole. What goes down in a hole? Light does, the great dragon. Down into your hole right here. And you become an avatar. And then you become part of the greatest show on earth. It's your reality show, folks. You're in a movie. You're inside. Earth is a movie set. So we're getting to the tail end of this. This is my second time saying that, I know. Those of you that like the cards and you want to continue to learn how to use the cards, I'm just slowly trickling this information out. But I'm a big fan of the cards and what number position they sit in. So because we're talking about the number 77, I'm going to go to solar spread number 77. Now I'm going to be using this website right here called Aquarius Maximus. Big shout out to Aquarius Maximus. And I'm going to leave this link in the description. And you can just click on these right here and you'll notice that they all have numbers and telling you what spread it is. Okay, all of these will tell you what spread they are. You just got to go through them. Like this is age 7, age 8, age 9, age 10, age 11, and you got to continue on. You got to go all the way down and find spread number 77, and you have to wait for it to load. Just so you know, okay. And you got to find it. Here's solar spread number 77. All these cards change. Here is the ground zero. This is zero. When you were born into this world, this is where you're going to be found. This is your 0 birthday card. You did have a 0 birthday, but most of you didn't celebrate it. You only celebrated you missed the 0 birthday. But this is your 0 birthday card. So this can be compared to chart number 77, but the cards move for the majority of the charts. And since we're talking about the greatest show on earth, I'm going to talk about the 77th space. And how I did that was through this measure right here. So right here to the right is the first 52 cards of the deck, right? There are 52 cards in the deck, including the jokers, which makes it 53 and 54. But we start here in the lower right one, and we go all the way up to 52 because the King of Spades, card 52, sits in this right here. But then we want to extend upon that, right? Because there's more than 52 numbers. So then we just continue on. We start here 53, 54, 55, and we want to get to the number 77 since the greatest show on earth is the number 77. So the number 77 is actually going to occupy space 77 and space 25. 77 and space 25. So that's why I have the 77 here. So what is sitting in space number 77? The 2 of clubs, which is card number 15, which is in the major arcana. Guess what it's going to be tied to? The devil. What runs the greatest show on earth? You do. The devil runs you, but you're in control of that reality through the expectations of, I have full control over my reality, but you have limited free will, folks. I hate to break it to you, but that's just the way it works. But I say, be the best little devil you could be. Right? If you want to say you have full control over your reality and you want to live through that, awesome. Go do that. Not here to take away that luxury from you. But this is what we're looking at right here, okay? And I would definitely take a snapshot of this and start to utilize it for your own decoding efforts. Okay, I got some courses coming out to show this kind of stuff. This is a little bit advanced, but I'm going to show you the basic, simplistic aspects of this and how it's so in tune with numerology. Okay, so because we have space number 77 and space 25, what is 77 plus 25? 92. And then just like that, you go right back to this element called uranium. And you're also going to get niobium, which is going to lead back to that 41. Uranus. So what runs the greatest show on earth? Uranus. The U. I am you. That's what it's saying here. And of course, it sits in the Jupiter line. So Jupiter has a big nod in this. Okay, you go all back to Jupiter Ascending in that movie. The Wachowskis talked about Jupiter being a harvesting planet. It gets really interesting. So when we look at this space 25 and 77, it's going to be the 77. And we add it up, we get 102. Oh, why did I have the 92 here? Oh, I'm sorry. I take that back. Let me back up. 77 and 15, excuse me. 77 and adding up the card that's in space 77, you get the 92. So those of you like, what the hell is Logan talking about? 77 and 25 is not 92. So 77 plus the card number, which is 15, is 92. But then if you take this 77 and 25 and add it up, you're going to get 102. And the 102, you go right back to what I've already shown and so many times, and many of you great decoders have been showing this. It's Pandora's box. So what is the greatest show on earth according to the cards of illumination? Pandora's box. You're in it. You're in Pandora's box. And you can even go to the 45th space right here. And you know what you're going to find out? You're going to go to the zero chart. Look what it is. The Queen of Clubs. Queen of Clubs sits right here in the spirit side. So the Queen of Clubs, and what card number is Queen of Clubs? 25. 25. I showed you what the controllers were, their birth card. This guy had the Queen of Clubs card. The Queen Bee. It's pretty interesting, right? Then we just show a little bit more here, ladies and gentlemen. If you take the 102 and you bring it to the protons, you get the master teacher element called Nobelium. And it's 259. 59 is the game of life. It's 259. Nobelium is the 33, which is tied to the Christ again. So what is the greatest show on earth? It's the Christ. It's you having the Jesus Christ super. That's why there's so many movies and the story. It's the greatest story ever told, because it's all talking about you having this experience of life down here. But it's the shit show as well. The good, the bad, and the ugly. So I think I have 2 slides left, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for sticking with me. So the big takeaway for this solar spread number 77 is the 2 of clubs. And how very fitting, right? Because the 2 of clubs is the 2 of wands in the tarot. And I have 23 and 24 here because if you're using the Fool as the 0 and or the 22nd card, it's going to move it up or down 1 card. And this is, by the way, this is the birth card of Elon Musk. This is the card of the futurist. What is the greatest show on earth? The future. It's part of the future. This is the futurist card. Holding the world in the palm of your hands. This ain't you holding it, it's the God holding it. Using you as an instrument. Okay? Using you as an instrument. And ladies and gentlemen, it's tied to Taurus. That's why I got Taurus here. Why do I say that? Because you see, it's space number 25 and 77. So you have the greatest show on earth being 77. Well, how about that 25? It's tied to this element right here. Manganese. And what do you see right here, folks? What is that in the shape of? How about the letter U, as in a magnet? As in the upside down of the Uranus? Right there. And what do you have there? You got a freaking cow. You got a cow right there. So the 25, which is tied to the Pandora's box and the Queen of Clubs, and the 2 of Wands is tied to the sign of Taurus. Taurus is ruled by Venus. Venus is 25, by the way. Big shout out to Steve Halberton. He's been doing some work on Venus. Venus is 25. Black Sun is 25. Venus may have been a sun at one point. Venus is the ruler of Taurus. I mean, this is kind of a no-brainer. The cow. The cow. It's pretty easy to see this, folks. There's the 54. News station 54. How much more do we need to see here? So the greatest show on earth, it's you coming down here and now having an avatar, and now you get the world in the palm of your hands and you got a screenplay to live out. And my final answer at this point is you are not in control of your screenplay. You're just along for the ride. That's what this means. And this is pretty much a dead giveaway here. So the greatest show on earth, again, going right here is, 77 plus the card it's sitting in the spot. 77 plus 15 is 92. It's uranium, and the upside down U is going to be right here in the icon that the Royal Society of Chemistry uses for element 25. And we're sitting in space 25 where this 2 of clubs sits through the solar spread number 77. How about that? There's the upside down U right there. And there's the cattle through Taurus. Taurus equaling 22, organic equal 22, natural equaling 22. The letter V is the 22nd letter. It just goes on and on, folks, with all this kind of stuff. And just so I know it's a Taurus card, here it is. This is my Astro Alchemy Decoded. Here's the 2 of clubs, and it sits in the 2nd zodiac sign, of Taurus. See that? So I'm just confirming it with you. And there's Phosphorus, there's Lucifer there, Lucifer being tied to Taurus, Taurus being ruled by Venus, and there's the connecting point of Lucifer being tied to Venus. But the Two of Clubs, by default, sits in the sign of Taurus. If you're a Taurus, if you're a Two of Clubs, you're going to be in the sign of Taurus. Whether or not you're a Taurus or not, you're going to be all 12 signs. But there's the Taurus, the bull, and you just go right back up here. And then this sits in space number 77, which is also space number 25, tied to the 25th element. And there's the damn bull right there on the icon. And I can assure you the Royal Society of Chemistry they're not coding it this way. They're not looking at stuff like this and saying, oh yeah, well, we better make sure that we put the bull for the element manganese, because, we have to get this exactly right. Because manganese actually sits with the Queen of Clubs, which is card number 25. So you have Pisces, the two fish, which is going bye-bye, see you later. And this is, folks, we actually may end up having some more free will moving into the age of Aquarius. We might be able to break free from the script because you finally wake up and realize, I don't want to be part of that script anymore. That's why I personally tune it all off. And this is the last slide I have for this greatest show on earth. I thank you for taking it all the way to the end here. I know some of this is new, so you may be like, well, wait a minute, what is Logan talking about? Just rewind it and watch it again. So this is brand new I'm showing you here. So those of you that are fans of the cards and the system and all that, this is brand new. So here are the cards of illumination for the numerology of greatest show on earth. 27th card, Ace of Diamonds. The greatest show is the 8 of Clubs, the 12 is the Queen of Hearts, and then the Earth, 17, is the 4 of Clubs. So I want to know, where in the solar spread number 77, since this equals 77, where are these cards sitting? They're sitting right here. So then I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to look at what numbers they land on. And you can do this for the extended, going all the way to the 77 and the 104 and all that stuff. So they sit in 7, 29, 35, 48. So if you add those up, look at what you get. Bam! That's why I know this is legit. This is legit. And there's that 119. So now, if you've been seeing the 119, if you've been seeing it, and now you know why it's such a big number. Because it's tied to the element tin. And what is 50? In God we trust. The I am is tied to the 50. Check out my Dios Decoded. I am is iodine and americium. The numerology of iodine and americium is 50, 50 in Spanish. I'm 50 years young right now showing you this. It's the Tin Man looking for his heart. Greatest show on earth. That's the Tin Man in The Wizard of Oz. What was the whole story and context of the Tin Man? Didn't have a heart. He was made of metal, tin. Came down here to play the game, and it's looking for his heart, looking for love. That's the whole basis of the story. And if you look at what position 50 is in, it's the 26th card in the deck. The word source equals 26. The word archons equals 26. Folks, there's more to this story than meets the eye. I'm just giving you the nitty gritty, the skinny stuff. This is kind of new, but I mean, this is legit right here. Legit. So that was it, ladies and gentlemen. What did you see for this presentation of the greatest show on earth, which is you having the superstar experience? You're the star. Some of you don't act like that. Some of you are too busy paying attention to the mainstream. You're too busy paying attention to other people's movies. You're too busy paying attention to everything but your own life. And that makes you just an extra, which is totally fine. That's exactly where you need to be. But if you want to become a star, ladies and gentlemen, you want to actually have the greatest experience, stop complaining, stop pointing the fingers, stop bitching and complaining, and stop, accusing this. Just go turn that shit off and create your game, man. The greatest show on earth. Would love to hear what you saw. Keep your comments coming. Just keep them cordial. It's all about loving here, man. So sending you a warm welcome from the Caribbean here in Mexico. Appreciate all of you making it to the end. My name is Logan for Decode Your Reality. Until next time, we will see you later.